The WLX Friday Night Football Showdown first premiered back in 2001. 25 years later, we continue to highlight the rivalries that make Coast football some of the most exciting in the entire state.
Yeah, just 1 year after the inaugural Friday Night Football Showdown episode, Gaucher and Pascagoula met for the first time, with the Gators sneaking out a 34-27 overtime victory.
24 years later, the Singing River Classic has blossomed into one of the most intense high school football rivalries in the entire state of Mississippi. Let's head out to War Memorial Stadium, where our Tyler Bell has highlights and reaction from the WLOX Game of the Week.
Well, I mean, this was absolutely the game that we thought it was going to be. Little chippy, kind of seeing who's the big brother, who's the little brother. These guys definitely came with a chip on their shoulder. Let's see in those highlights who was able to do it.
The Singing River Classic. These boys came to fight over territory, and it was brutal. 48 full minutes of headhunting and dirty laundry out on the field. Kelly Steele breaks off a big one for 35 yards for Gaucher, setting them up for a field goal early in the game. The rest of the game can easily be summarized as Jared Loper heaving the ball downfield. Number 13, Darius Carter, is down there somewhere. Let him take it 70 yards to the house. Number 14, DJ Nunnery, he's down there somewhere. Let him take it 60 yards all alone. And unfortunately for the Gators, it never did stop. Amari Jackson hits the end zone 4 times alone. Panthers get a massive boost before the playoffs. Final score, 49-12 Panthers. Here's what Coach Sims had to say after the game.
You know, our whole mentality is we took that preseason butt whooping like a champ, but it prepared us for now. And so now going into the playoffs, we're going out, we're going to fight every second of every minute of every quarter of every game.
And with as much as these teams had to play for, it really wasn't that close of a game, unfortunately. Pascagoula gets up way ahead early, 42-3 ahead of half. Some personal changes later in the game, rolling clock with the lead, so it doesn't look as big as it absolutely was on paper in the box score. But this was Pascagoula through and through, and man, they have really set themselves up on fire, looking good before playoffs rolls around. It's also good for them to strike back at Gaucher. They've lost these last 2 Singing River Classics, and they did it in a big way. But for now, on this Thursday edition of the Friday Night Football Showdown in Pascagoula, Tyler Bell, WLOX News Now.
Thank you, Tyler. With St. Martin's loss tonight, both D'Iberville and Biloxi have clinched a berth in the 7A postseason. The 4th-ranked Warriors hosting the Indians, with the winner capturing the 3rd seed in the region. For highlights and reaction from tonight's rivalry game, let's head out to Warrior Stadium, where Cody Heister has everything you need to know about tonight's critical matchup.
Yeah, Matt, I know you talk about big games in 7A, maybe none bigger than tonight's game between D'Iberville and Biloxi. Let's kind of look at how we got here. D'Iberville coming off of that region loss against the eventual region champion Gulfport Admirals, but Biloxi riding high after playing heartbreaker to West Harrison's playoff hopes in an overtime win just last Friday night. But let's roll those highlights to see if they can play spoiler once again.
Biloxi riding high after last week's victory over West Harrison to end their playoff hopes, with the Warriors looking to avenge last week's loss in a rivalry like no other. First quarter, Indians driving. Jordan Ramsey scrambles to his left, but he's going to run into a wall. That's Jamil Brown on the stop to keep the Indians off the board. Later in the second quarter, Warriors at the 1. You've heard his name, folks. Jordan Wally keeps it himself and plunges into the end zone to put the Warriors up 7-0. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Next drive, Wally takes it, running through defenders into the end zone to put the Warriors up 14-0 at halftime. We head to the third quarter. Jordan Wally fakes the handoff, and there he goes. From 10 yards out, he puts the Warriors up 21-0. And from there, it would be all Warriors as they punch their playoff ticket for the 2nd year in a row. Here's what Coach Ladner had to say following the win.
It was amazing. There's a lot of hard work that goes into this. I had an excellent coaching staff. All glory to God. Our administration, Ms. Broadus, everybody just had a great hand in this. We have the greatest support and the greatest community in the world.
And you heard it there from Coach Ladner. I mean, that community came out in full swing tonight as D'Iberville pitched a 4-touchdown shutout over Biloxi. But that is not all she wrote for Biloxi's playoff hopes, because they will be the 4 seed with an Ocean Springs win over St. Martin. But for now, reporting live here in D'Iberville, Cody Heister, WLOX News Now.
To 5A, East Central needs to beat Stone to stay alive for a playoff spot. We pick up in the first quarter in a scoreless ball game, but not for much longer. Marion Fairley gets a handoff, breaks through the trenches to find an open field ahead of him. 35 yards for the easy score. Tomcats get on the board first, taking the early 7-0 lead. We move to the second quarter. Stone looking to add to that lead. They drop back for a pass, but Dylan Barajas dives over the middle for the interception. He gives the Hornets a chance to tie the game, but they come up just a bit short on fourth down. On a fourth down attempt in the end zone, in the red zone. Later in the second quarter, Tomcats back on the attack. Quarterback Xander Howard is going to float a screen over to Aiden Green. He's just too fast for the East Central defense. Green finds his way in for the touchdown, extending lead to 14-0. So we'll keep it rolling the second half as they go into the playoffs with some momentum. Final score is 35-21.
A lot on the line in 5A Region 4 tonight. Van Cleve needed to beat Purvis to extend its season.
Yeah, for details on the Bulldogs' battle with the Tornadoes, let's head over to our Dylan Jones, who joins us in the studio with the highlights.
Thanks, guys. After East Central's loss, Van Cleve would be the 3 seed in 5A Region 4 with a win tonight. The Bulldogs taking the trip north to the Pine Belt. Van Cleve ball. Kyle Caper is going to run with it, looking for magic before he's taken down at the 48. A first down for the Bulldogs, but it wasn't good enough. Van Cleve now looking deep, but it goes half the distance. Ball is caught by Tornado Jeremiah Daniels, and they had to catch him quick before he's finally down. Looks like Purvis going to need getting some momentum going here. Kay Lawler going to look to throw it. He waits before he launches, but the pass is incomplete. The last thing that they need right now. Bulldogs ball. Number 12, Wyatt Adams now looking to throw. Intercepted by Cole Ladner, and he's going all the way to the end zone. The first touchdown of the night for the Tornadoes. And later, number 3, Paxton Cooper. He's going to be tossed the ball and watch him fly. It's going to be hard to see him. The camera's shaking all over. Can you blame him? Into the end zone for another Tornado touchdown. And in the end, Purvis ends the Bulldog season with a 30-0 win. Back to you guys with how the 5A postseason is shaping up.
Thank you, Dylan. And let's take a look at all the 5A madness and what played out tonight. This is not official, but it's about as close to official as we can tell you. It looks as if Stone will be hosting the Sumrall Bobcats in the opening round of the playoffs next week. That will be the lone coast team remaining in 5A after both East Central and Van Cleve failed to qualify for the postseason. Wayne County will be at home. Laurel will be at home. The Golden Tornadoes will host the Tornadoes up there in the Pine Belt. Brookhaven and Northeast Jones wrap up the south part of the 5A playoffs.
Yeah, now let's take a look at the updated 6A playoff matchups in the south. Picayune, they'll be traveling to George County. Pascagoula, Picayune will be at home. They'll be hosting George County.
If George County wins tomorrow. So that game still has to happen. Yeah. So there's a lot to play out there too, Nigel, with that George County game. But the rest is still what we now know is unofficially official.
Yeah, you can tell it's getting kind of hectic. We got Thursday games, Friday games, everything's going wild. What's not wild is Pascagoula. They're number 2. They'll be hosting Terry. Hancock, they'll be hosting West Jones when we get to 7A
right now. 7A. This was the craziest out of all the hectic nature of 5A and 6A. This was actually the craziest one. It came down to point differential over there on the right-hand side. Brandon looks like they're going to be matched up with Gulfport. Ocean Springs going to host Petal in a rematch of a game that those two played earlier in the year. D'Iberville will go on the road to Northwest Rankin, and Oak Grove looks like they will be hosting Biloxi.